All right. Hello, everyone. I am here with a wonderful individual. Her name is Angie. Angie, how are you?
I'm doing well, teacher. How about you?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much, Angie. I've been looking forward to this conversation.
Oh, I've been waiting for this conversation for a while. Like, when I will come to December, when I will come to December, and now it's December 1st, and I'm so glad, I'm so happy to have you.
Good. Well, Angie, I know you well, but those watching or listening to this conversation, they're probably curious to know more about you. So, Angie, can you introduce yourself? Where are you from? Tell us something interesting about you. Anything you'd like to share?
Great. I'm Angie. I'm from Democratic Republic of Congo. I was born and raised there. I live in Kinshasa. And I've done my graduation in business administration. And then I took few years for working some places. But actually, I'm just an English learner and I enjoy it.
Nice, nice. I love it. I love it. Now, what is your hobby? What's your hobby?
Whew, I have many kind of hobbies.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, I have so many hobbies. Like reading a book. I like reading. So I'm fond of playing piano and
Mm.
yeah, listening some music. Actually, I'm into learn new things. So it's like one of my personality. So it's part of me. I like always to learn something new, and yeah,
I
I
love it.
enjoy it.
I love it. Well, then let me ask you this. Since you like learning new things, tell me the last thing you learned that was very interesting. Doesn't matter what it is. What's something you learned in the last few days that was interesting to you?
I've learned something in the with English, something
Okay.
more product with English. So I've just add some new vocabulary about English and around the food. Yes, because
Uh-huh.
yes, English
Uh-huh.
and food. Yes, I've had some few vocabulary. I really don't know that I need that. I have to review that. So you just remind me that I have to review.
I know everyone listening or watching is like, oh no, Angie has a test now. Not a test. But that's good though. You learned some new vocabulary words related to food.
Yeah,
I'm sure you heard
yeah.
me when I spoke about when I was learning Korean. You know, I like food and I like cooking. I used to watch Korean cooking programs. So it's very good. You're learning things connected to English. And I think you said you are interested in cooking, or no, you didn't mention cooking. Do you
Yes,
like cooking?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Good. Good. All right.
I'm foodie just like you.
Nice. You're a foodie too. I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
food
Well, tell me
team.
this. When did you start studying English and why did you choose it? I want you to think about when you first started studying English. When did you start and why did you choose English?
So I start to study English this year, but in January. So it was one of my resolution for this year,
Mm-hmm.
learning English and speaking English because I have learned English when I was in the high school, but I never used it. It was like too much grammar, and then this year just I decided it will be great if I can speak English, and I jump in.
Good. I want to ask you this question. You mentioned, and I had a conversation with Marina a little while ago, and we were talking about grammar as well. You said that when you were studying in high school, you were studying English, but you didn't really like it too much. There were too many grammar rules. It wasn't really enjoyable. Now, those listening and watching this conversation right now, they're listening to you speak English well and having a full conversation with another native English speaker. So I'm sure they're inspired and impressed. What happened? Because before, when you were just learning grammar and other things in school, it wasn't fun. But for me,
Mhm.
looking at you right now, it looks like I know you're happy to meet me in part here, but it looks like you're enjoying English now. So what happened? What is the difference now?
So the difference now is I can more express myself in English. So when I start to learn English, it was like, because I know that if I start with grammar, I will give up. So, and I decided to start with other skills like listening and speaking directly. So it was like you find a speaking partner that this speaking partner have just an intermediate level, and then when you speak with him, you will just sometimes it's like stuck, and yeah, in the beginning it was like that, but actually it's more better. So yeah.
I love it. I love it.
I'm proud of me.
I love it. I'm glad you're proud of yourself. Yes, you should be proud of yourself. I love it. I think you made a very interesting point, Angie. You said that instead of starting with the grammar, again, people listening or watching, Angie's not a beginner. Angie is at the upper intermediate level. So that's why it's okay for her to not, quote unquote, start with the grammar. You said you started with speaking, started to talk to people and get a partner. And those moments when you get stuck, that's when you look things up. I want to say this. How do I say this? And it makes it easier to remember because you're actually in the moment and you want to express yourself. So I'm glad you said that. Yes. Well, what about the hardest thing, Angie? What's the hardest thing for you right now about studying English?
Right now or during my process. I mean, right now, so I'm in there, so some of the things already because it has been a long time that I learned English. So I think during my process, the things that was very hard for me, it was finding speaking partner. You know, sometimes you find someone and we talk just for a few time and then he disappear and you have to find another one, or you haven't, you know, many similarity and many that yeah, it was so difficult and frustrated. So when I joined this community, it was during my first week. I see this lady just to send a video in this Telegram group,
Yes.
and wow, I see, oh wow, she speaks English very great. And then I decided to text her, and it was Dominica, by the way, and
Yes.
I text her, how are you? So I would like you to be my speaking partner. And she said, okay, nice. And then we start to learn. And just a few days, she just realized that I can also speak French. And then she said, oh my goodness, I learned French in this time. And then we
Nice.
have just, yes, we have scheduled everything about her day for learn English and our day for learn uh, French. So it was so amazing and I have enjoyed
I love it. You know, I love the smile that's on your face as you speak about Dominica because she just finished talking about you. She talked
Oh,
about you a lot. Yes. She's like, I met my best
really?
friend, Tiffany. I was like, oh, who? She's like, Angie. I was like, oh, really? She's like, yes. So she talked about you a lot when we had our conversation. And I'm so
Oh,
happy. I'm so happy you found a speaking partner. And that really does
yes,
make a difference. It really does make a difference.
yeah, this is
So
the best.
now that you have a speaking partner and you're studying on a regular basis, you guys are able to connect. What do you really enjoy the most about studying English? You explained that, hey, Tiffani, in the beginning there were challenges, but not as many challenges now. So what do you enjoy the most right now about studying English?
What I enjoy the most, it's connecting with people. You know, English
Mm,
connects us. Try. So I've met many people that in my entire life I can't believe that I can, for example, now meet these people. So it was so amazing. So
yes,
I like the connection between all the language, the
yes.
English language. So you can, for example, meet an Indian people that you will just talk with him, being clear, and also he will understand you. So I like that. That are the things that I enjoy. It meet new people and try to speak with them in English. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Let me ask you this question as we continue moving through our conversation. tell us which program you're currently enrolled in. I think you might be in 2, but which program are you currently enrolled in the academy? And then why did you choose that program? Are you in the daily English lessons membership? Again, I know, but for those listening, is the daily English lessons membership, or is it speaking English like a native? Which one?
Yes, I'm in the daily English lesson academy. Yeah.
And why did you choose that program?
Because when I've started to learn English, when I come to intermediate level, I was just stuck, and I'm looking for something that will help me to become to the advanced level, and that's why when teacher, the first time that when I meet you on Instagram, so I've already other teacher, but when I saw you, it was like, oh, I like her skin. Her skin is so beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it was something like that. So yeah, I like her skin. It's so clear, it's so beautiful. And then I start to follow you. After a few days, you just come to talk about how to move the intermediate level to an advanced. And then I say, okay, that's something that I really want, and I decided to take the course. Yeah, and I'm in now.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for your kind words. I love that. All right. So you're in now. You're in the program. I love it. And you're enjoying it. So let me ask you this. How do you currently study? Like, there are daily lessons. How do you study? Do you study in the morning, in the evening? Like, what is your study habit?
So my study habit is, so first of all, when I start, it was like in the morning, because in the morning is the best time for me to learn new things. And then because of some occupation, so I really haven't any time for learn, and it's like I can take in the morning, I can take it in the afternoon. So when I find a time, so I jump in and I learn. Yeah.
Good. I like that. I like that. Whenever you have time, that's when you study. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay. So tell me, Angie, you told me you studied business administration when you were in school. You told me you came to our family and you met Dominica. You told me that you help each other and she's learning French and you're helping her. Tell me, how has your life changed after speaking English? How has your life changed?
A lot, a lot. I feel like an American.
I love it. I love it. Tell us more.
Yes, my life changed a lot, and my brain also. I don't think like I used to think. Everything in me I've just changed. I decided to have my own business, and I think it's because of English. So English have just impacted, because there are some of personality. I don't know if I can say personality. There are some of personality so behind the language, and I think English just try to English just help the people. So I don't know how can I express that, but like it help you to just go ahead, to just jump when you have an idea, not to think alone like in French, or maybe have to analyze everything. So English is like you have an idea, you do it. Yeah, that's something that I really like and I really enjoy um in this language. So English have changed my life in every kind of situation, teacher. I can tell you, but maybe people will not understand. But so I'm actually wrote an article about my English journey, because it has been um a 1 year since I learned English, and I would like to celebrate that by writing. And I show just other things that English like give to me. English for me, it's more than a language. It's my friends.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love how you were saying that it's changed your whole life. Now you want to start a business because of English. Now you want to speak with other people. Like, it's really seemed to help you. I've used this word quite a few times in the last few interviews. Blossom. Like a flower opening up developing into this beautiful, amazing woman, even more amazing than you were before. I love it. I love it.
Yes, totally.
So let me
Yes.
ask you this. If you could speak to yourself before you came to our family, before you joined the academy, the Angie and all the stresses she was experiencing, all of the feelings of being stuck and not being able to go forward with her English. And now this Angie, amazing, very confident and willing to meet anybody now. Angie, if you could speak to that version of yourself, if you were looking back and you could speak to that version of you, what would you tell yourself?
So I would tell her, so you was right to subscribe, to enroll to this academy.
I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. What's your dream? What's your dream regarding English?
My dream is speak fluently, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah. This is one of my dream, you know. I would like
Yeah.
just to come to the United States and, hey guys, how are you? Yeah, you good, you know? And but coming so speak fluently in English, that's one of my dream. Yeah. And I will achieve this dream. I will make it come true.
So let me ask you this. Your dream is to be able to come to America to speak freely, like, hey guys, what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Remember, I just want you to realize how much you've accomplished, right? So, Angie, I'm American, right? We've been talking so far for about 15 minutes, not in French, not in Spanish, not in Russian. We've been speaking in English, right? And the whole time you've been smiling. Hey, Tiffani, I've been looking forward to speaking to you. The reason I'm saying this, Angie, you're already starting to realize your dream. And I want you to remember that. You're able to express yourself. Remember, being fluent in English, the literal definition is being able to express your thoughts, your ideas and opinions in English. And so far, every question I've asked, you've been able to answer and I've understood. I even sat here and I'm, yes, Angie, yes, I was very interested. So realize that your dream has already started coming true. I'm American. You're speaking to an American and you're confident, right?
Yeah, you're totally right. You're totally right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Speaking
doing
with
it.
you is like an accomplishment, an achievement.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter if another American was here, you'd be able to speak to them too. Remember, it's all about your confidence in yourself because you have the tools, you have the vocabulary. Imagine me being somebody different. The reason you're able to speak with me and not be nervous is because you're comfortable with me. Tiffani's a safe place. When I'm with her, I can just speak freely. I'm okay. Just remember that whenever you meet somebody else, hey, they're just like Tiffani. Let me just be comfortable. And you can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
Totally right.
Okay. Well, I love that goal. I love that goal. What do you think is the most important thing for an English learner to remember? What would you tell another English learner?
So I would tell to another English learner that learning a foreign language, you know, even though it's not English, it's a path that you have to follow some step. And when you follow some step, you can be stuck in this kind of step. And for example, even though you know, when we start to learn English, we are so excited in this the first time, but it's when after a few months we have just, oh, I don't have a time to learn English, and I'm too tired. And so we try to find some reason. So I would like just to say to the English learner, so when you come to this moment that you think you are it's so too lazy for you to learn English or to go, just try to go ahead, try to continue. And it's in this time that you have to push yourself very much and push yourself, because you have to follow the step that the things that I can say to an English learner. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love that you said that. You have to keep pushing. Don't stop. Just keep pushing and you'll realize
Yes.
your dreams. I love it.
Yes, because during my journey, I had these moments that I really just gave up because too many mistakes, too many frustration, too many, when you learn and you have your personal life as well, and sometimes you didn't feel well, and then you want to give up with English, but in this time, just trying to you don't want to see English like a course. You have to see it like an amusement, like like a friend, like
Yeah.
something that you do because you enjoy it.
Yeah.
For example, when we watch a movie, we watch a movie because we enjoy and not because we learn. So you have to think about that and think that English is not a course, and it's my friend, like I said, that yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's your friend. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, Angie. Do you have any questions that you'd like to ask me? Any questions you'd like to ask me?
Yeah, of course. I'm waiting for that. I've been
What's your question?
waiting for that for years. Yeah, I have a question, teacher. One of my, can I ask two questions
Sure.
if you don't mind?
Sure.
Yes. So one of my question is related with your Korean, and yes, for me, I would like to know how learn Korean have changed your life.
It's a
Yeah,
great question. How
because
is Korean? Yes.
they haven't many people that learn this language, and as an American, most of the American learn Spanish, sometimes French because you want to go to French or something like that, but you learn Korean, and why? And
Okay.
why, and yes, and how Korean affects in your life, so I've changed your life, so
Okay. Two parts. Why did I learn Korean and how did it change my life, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So why did I learn Korean? Short answer is I actually went to Korea to become a missionary English teacher. I'm a Christian and I wanted to share God's word with other individuals. I love God and he makes me happy all the time. So I wanted to share that same experience with other individuals. What happened though, I fell in love with teaching because I was teaching English and teaching the Bible. And as I was teaching, I started seeing things change in my students. A few moments ago, you were saying, Tiffani, English changed my life, right? And I could tell the excitement, right? And I was looking at your face. So imagine, Angie, you're one individual. I'm talking to you and I'm just loving it, right? I'm listening to you talk and I'm just happy. Now multiply that by thousands of students. I lived in Korea for about 10 years, right? So I taught thousands upon thousands of students. So I watched students as their English improved, suddenly things started changing. They were more confident. They were doing more things in life. And I loved that feeling like, oh, I can help people. So that's why I went to Korea and that's why I became an English teacher. Now, how has Korean changed my life? So I started studying Korean because I saw what was happening to my students as they learned English. But remember, I went there to teach English and the Bible. There is a very popular quote from Nelson Mandela, and he says, if you teach someone or if you say something to someone in a language that they know, like English, they will hear it here. I'm speaking to you and I'm right here. You're understanding what I'm saying. But if I said it in your mother tongue, if I switched and said, Mademoiselle, like if I suddenly started speaking French, immediately it goes right here because you don't have to think about it, right? It hits your heart, right? It just hits there. When I read that quote, I promised myself that I would learn Korean because again, I love teaching English, but I also loved God and I wanted my Korean students to understand it here. Not just here, but here. So that's why I started learning Korean. And how did it change my life? Honestly, Angie, it completely changed my life for many reasons. First, like you said, Americans don't normally learn like Asian languages because they're opposite to English. We have different grammar rules, different structures, right? So it is extremely difficult, extremely challenging to learn a language that has an opposite structure, grammatical structure from your own. So it was challenging, but because I was about 27 years old when I started studying Korean, and because I had to go through this challenging experience, I wasn't 18, 19, not even 21. I wasn't young when I started studying Korean. It was a lot more difficult for me to get the information, to understand the words, to understand the grammar. So I went through this struggle and the frustrations. Well, the first thing is because I went through that, now I understand when you go through that. I literally understand your emotions, your thoughts, your frustrations. Sometimes you just want to stop and quit because it's so hard. But because I've been through that, now I can help you. I'm not just saying, I know it's hard, but it's okay. I'm like, no, I understand. It's hard. Like, I really understand. So it really changed my life. It made me more empathetic. I can connect with you. I'm not just your teacher. I literally understand you because I've been there. The second thing is because of the challenge that I went through learning Korean, I had to figure out a different way of going from the intermediate to the advanced level, right? That wall you hit before you came, like, Tiffani, I just can't get past. I experienced
Yeah.
that. And at that moment, that's when I came up with all the methods that I use to teach you and everyone else in our family. Thinking in English and then speaking, organizing your thoughts and letting go of the grammar, not worrying about your mistakes. I went through that entire process. So that's why I'm able to teach it to you and everyone else because I've been there. So it literally, learning Korean changed my entire life because now I am an English teacher. And all of the methods I use, I created them because I was where you are. I'm like, I understand my students. I've been there. So let me teach them what worked for me. Let me help take the stress away. It's okay. Let's enjoy studying and then helping you all. So it really changed my whole life. And now, Angie, I wake up every day happy to do what I'm doing. I'm happy to teach English. I'm happy. I was happy to have this conversation with you. I'm earning money, having a good time, getting to know, my
Yeah.
students and helping you achieve your goals. So hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, that's what I want to. I want to enjoy with my professional life. Yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. Well,
One more
Angie,
question, if you don't mind.
sure. Go ahead. That was a two-part question, huh?
So,
Go ahead.
so teacher, you sing very well, and you
Oh,
also
thank you.
rap a little bit. And I would like to know where this talent just come from, to your mother or your father?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. Okay. So as far as I'll say rhythm, right? Rhythm and like dancing or moving, music. So my mom told me my dad liked to sing when they were younger, like 18, 19, 20, and 21. My dad is not shy at all in public. So he would be on stage. If they had some special event, he would get on stage, grab the mic, and he'd just start singing. Like, he's not shy at all. So I think I get that part from him. As far as rhythm, both of my parents, they can dance. So growing up,
Oh.
literally my entire life, Angie, if my mom was in the kitchen cleaning, there was music playing in the background the whole time. She's cooking food, but she's dancing the entire time. Yes, exactly. My dad, he's always dancing. There's always been music in my house from the time when before I can even remember. Always there's been music in my home and like the joy of just kind of moving and like having rhythm. Even last week, yes, last week we went on vacation for Thanksgiving, and my youngest niece is 6 years old. And my dad, the same thing he was doing with us when we were her age. There was music playing in the background. My mom was in the kitchen cooking. My dad was cleaning and doing something. And my niece walked in. He calls her baby girl. He said, "Come here, baby girl." And he turned the music up and he held her hands and she put her feet on his feet and he was just kind of dancing around. So it's always been a big part of my life, you know, music and just kind of, you know, moving to the beat and everything. So yeah, I guess both my parents, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing.
One day I will, I want to have my parents, bring them to my office and I can like let you guys meet them like on a live video or a live meeting,
Oh,
I think.
yeah, we will
Yeah.
enjoy it. We'll
Yeah.
enjoy it.
They're great people. They're great people. I think you guys would like them. My dad is very funny.
Yeah.
My dad, I get my humor from my dad. My dad is the funny one. My mom is very, very nice, very sweet. My dad is the one that, yeah, he's very humorous. He's very humorous. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, Angie, thank you for your questions. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, so do I.
Thank you so much. Well, I'll see you next time, okay, hon?
Yeah, see you too,
Okay.
teacher Tiffani.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, hon.